Okay, you know that feeling. Your brain feels like a washing machine stuck on spin cycle, just running and running, whether there's anything actually in it or not.
Oh, absolutely. We've all been there.
Yeah, like nothing's really wrong. You're maybe trying to relax, and boom, suddenly you're replaying some random chat from last week or checking your phone again or planning like 5 different backup plans for some meeting that might not even happen.
It's exhausting.
It is. You just wonder, why does peace feel so impossible sometimes?
Well, and what's really interesting and maybe a bit freeing is that this constant mental chatter, it isn't some personal failing. Amanda Montell argues it's actually a defining feature of right now.
Okay.
She calls it the age of magical overthinking.
Yeah.
It's this collision, really, between our own emotional chaos and just this relentless information overload.
Wow. Okay.
And the brain's default, its ancient reaction, is to try and think its way to safety.
Magical overthinking. I like it. It puts a name on the noise, doesn't it?
It does.
So our mission for this deep dive is to really get into Montell's ideas. Because she doesn't just point out the problem, right? She offers ways to handle it.
Exactly. Tools.
We need to understand like why our biology is so mismatched with the world today, unpack those sneaky mental habits that keep us stuck, and hopefully find some practical ways to stop feeling like we're drowning in thought.
Yeah, and to really get it, Montell starts with a core truth we tend to forget. Our brains, amazing as they are, they just weren't designed for this.
This meaning, constant input, the digital age.
Right. The modern world, it's running on, ancient software.
So our wiring is more about immediate stuff, like is that a lion in the bushes or is my neighbor angry at me? That kind of thing.
Precisely. Our ancestors dealt with present problems, tangible threats in a much simpler environment. If they were overthinking, it was probably because something real was chasing them.
Okay, makes sense.
Now, contract that with your phone right now, or your news feed. It's infinite input. Breaking news, social media comparisons, global anxieties, tiny decisions constantly. It's all hitting us all the time.
Like a cognitive tsunami, you said.
Exactly. And our sort of simple, older brain parts, they just can't filter it all properly, let alone process it calmly.
So the world feels chaotic, overwhelming, and the natural human reaction is what? To grab onto something.
To reach for control. And how do we try to do that? Through thinking.
We figure, okay, if I just think harder, longer, louder, if I analyze every single angle.
Then I'll find the answer, the escape hatch.
But what does that actually create in reality?
But more noise, usually amplified noise.
Right.
And that leads us right to her specific idea, magical overthinking.
Okay, define that for us.
It's this deep, sometimes unconscious belief that if we just think enough, if we reread that email one more time, or game out every single possible outcome of a conversation, we can somehow control everything. Random chance, the economy, how someone else feels.
Which sounds great.
Yeah.
It gives you this feeling of agency, right?
Yeah.
In a world that feels totally uncertain.
It's comforting for a moment. But Montell points out it's an incredibly draining way to live. You're essentially throwing logical, computational energy at problems that are fundamentally emotional or just random.
Ah, okay. Try and solve feelings with spreadsheets.
Pretty much. And that connects back to why you feel so wiped out, even on a relaxing day. Your brain's been running these intense simulations, trying to control the uncontrollable. Peace feels impossible because the machine never stops trying.
It really clicks into place why we do it. But Montell also shows us how we get locked in, right? The specific mental shortcuts.
Yes, the biases. And she's clear, these aren't character flaws. They're your brain's kind of clumsy, misguided attempts to keep you safe.
Okay, let's dig into those. What's the first one?
The big one, really the foundation, is the illusion of control. This deep-seated belief that if you just analyze every possible future, every outcome, you can somehow prevent pain.
Okay, but isn't some foresight good? Like planning for a big presentation. Where's the line between that and this illusion?
That's a great question. The line gets crossed when analysis becomes paralysis. Healthy foresight prepares you. Magical overthinking traps you. It's spending an hour tweaking a 2-sentence email to make it absolutely perfectly unambiguous.
Been there.
Right. You're aiming for a level of control that life just doesn't offer. And the irony. The more you try to plan every detail, the less room you leave for just living. For spontaneity, for feeling.
Which leads perfectly into the next bias she talks about, the sunk cost fallacy. We hear about this with money, but for worrying.
It applies perfectly. You've already spent hours, maybe nights, awake, replaying something, agonizing over what you should have said or done.
Right, that mental energy.
The effort has to be worth something, doesn't it? That's the feeling. If you stop worrying now, it feels like you're invalidating all that time and energy you already poured in.
So you keep going because you've already invested so much worry.
Exactly. It's like saying, I can't stop stressing about this now. I've already lost 3 nights of sleep over it. You refuse to let go because the emotional cost feels too high already.
Wow. So you end up paying twice. Once for the initial thing, and again because you won't just write off the worry time as, well, wasted.
Precisely. And then there's the availability bias.
Okay, what's that one?
This is your brain's tendency to replay the stuff that's most vivid, most emotionally charged. Why? Simply because it's easily available in your memory. It's intense.
Like the mental highlight reel of your biggest mistakes.
Exactly. The email you wish you could unsend, the awkward moment, the breakup, they feel huge because they were intense. So the brain keeps playing them because they have high emotional voltage. They stand out.
Okay, so let's recap this. We have an ancient brain, totally overwhelmed by modern life.
Sure.
Desperately trying to grab control through thinking.
Sure.
Refusing to admit when worry time is wasted because of sunk costs.
Yeah.
And constantly replaying our most painful or embarrassing memories just because they're loud and sticky.
You got it. And the synthesis is, well, it's powerful. All this thinking feels like your brain screaming, I'm protecting you, just keep running.
But Montell's warning is clear. Overthinking isn't safety. It's stagnation pretending to be preparation.
And that stagnation, it has real costs, a heavy price tag. Montell calls it modern burnout of the mind.
Yeah.
It's like an internal tax we're constantly paying.
And we feel it, don't we? It hits creativity,
Absolutely. Drains it?
ruins sleep,
Definitely.
and just creates this low-level hum of anxiety that's always there, like having 50 browser tabs open in your head.
That's a great analogy. And she uses a similar one, calling overthinking the spiritual tax of an information age.
The spiritual tax.
Yeah. We scroll endlessly for answers, for life hacks, productivity tips, relationship advice, political takes. We consume so much information.
And yet we feel less focused, less capable than ever.
Exactly. We wonder why we can't concentrate. We're paying this huge mental tax just to process the sheer volume of noise.
So the key paradox here, the really crucial point, is that our minds aren't tired from good thinking, from deep work.
No.
They're tired from never stopping. Every little comparison, every micro decision, every notification we glance at. It's another mental tab we never close.
And the scary consequence of that, real quiet, actual silence starts to feel terrifying.
Because the noise is the baseline.
Right. If your normal is constant mental chatter, the absence of it feels like this void your brain frantically tries to fill. You literally forget how to be quiet inside.
Okay, so this is the problem. Trying to use logic to solve emotional chaos. What's the solution? Montell must offer a path forward, right? Not just diagnose it.
She does, and it's about perspective and practice. No quick fixes here, but definitely actionable steps. It's about redirecting that energy.
So where do we start? Does she suggest something like a mental diet?
In a way, yes. The very first step is awareness of bias, just catching your brain in the act.
Catching it, trying to.
What?
Solve feelings with logic.
Exactly. Catching it when it tries to tackle fear or grief or uncertainty, like it's a math problem that just needs more analysis.
Okay, so I notice myself doing that.
Yeah.
Then what? What's the internal redirect?
It's surprisingly simple. Just telling yourself, this isn't a puzzle, it's a feeling.
This isn't a puzzle, it's a feeling.
It creates a little space. It separates the thinking part from the feeling part. It reminds you that feelings need to be felt, maybe processed, but not analyzed into oblivion.
That distinction feels really important. Okay, so awareness first. Then what about that mental diet idea? Reducing the noise.
That's step 2. Cognitive minimalism. It sounds fancy, but it's simple.
Okay.
Aggressively limit the input. Consciously choose what actually gets your attention. And this is where she gives that super practical advice. Daily information fasting.
Information fasting, I like that. It's not about achieving Zen mastery overnight.
Not at all. It's about restricting the fuel for the overthinking fire.
How much time? What does that look like?
She suggests aiming for just 1 hour. 1 hour of stillness a day.
Stillness meaning.
No news, no scrolling, no podcasts even, no trying to fix or plan anything, just quiet.
And why is that so effective?
Biologically.
It reduces the triggers. It cuts down on the stimuli that activate those intense, available memories and anxieties we talked about. It lets the thinking part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, actually rest from that constant filtering job.
Okay, that makes sense. If overthinking lives entirely in the head, in abstract future worries, the next step has to be about getting out of the head, right?
Exactly. Step 3, reconnect with the body. If the anxiety is abstract, the relief needs to be physical, grounded.
How? Like specific examples.
Anything that brings you into the present moment through sensation. Go for a walk, focus on your breathing, do some stretching, maybe journal about physical sensations.
So it's less about solving the problem in your head and more about regulating your nervous system.
Precisely. Pulling the energy out of that abstract worry loop and back into your actual physical self right here, right now. Okay. Awareness, minimalism, body connection. What's the final piece? We started with this illusion of control.
Right. So the final step is redefine control. We have to shift the goalposts entirely.
Meaning?
Instead of that impossible goal of controlling everything out there, which just feeds the magical overthinking, we shift to controlling our internal response.
Control what you can, which is yourself.
And Montell gives us the absolute key distinction here. The goal is not to stop thinking, because that's impossible.
Right.
It's to stop mistaking every thought for truth.
Okay, say more about that.
Your brain will offer thoughts, worries, anxieties, plans, ideas. That's its job. But you get to choose which ones you engage with, which ones you invite in, feed, and let set up camp in your head.
That feels like the real freedom here, choosing which thoughts get your energy.
It is.
So to kind of wrap this up, what we've really explored today is that this constant overthinking, it isn't some deep character flaw.
Not at all. It's a side effect. A side effect of being human, having this ancient brain, and trying to navigate a world that just never, ever shuts up.
But the hopeful part is,
The miracle, really, is that even with all that noise, you still have the power to choose quiet.
how?
In those moments.
Every time you just pause, every time you take a breath, every time you let uncertainty just be there without feeling this frantic need to conquer it with more thinking,
You're taking back a piece of your mind.
you are reclaiming a little bit of mental freedom, tangibly.
And it's crucial to remember, peace isn't found by digging for more information, more advice, more hacks.
No, it comes from restraint, from discernment.
It comes from learning, maybe slowly, that not every thought needs a response from you. Not every notification deserves your immediate attention.
Exactly. And maybe the most powerful takeaway, the thought to really hold on to from Montell, is just this simple sentence: not everything needs my attention.
Not everything needs my attention. That's a good mantra.
It really is.
So when that overthinking loop inevitably starts up again, maybe later tonight, try using that phrase just as a gentle pushback.
Yeah, a gentle boundary for your own mind.
And then give yourself permission to rest. You've probably done enough thinking for one day.
You definitely have.